Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, say hi to everybody and tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us how cold it is and how much snow you have. I mean, that's all we talk about this time of year and these days. It will be fun, but maybe you don't ever have snow, so that's not fun. Let's have some fun, though. So make sure you send us some thumbs up and hearts if you like what we are seeing. And, of course, you can share our video. Make sure you follow our page and subscribe so you don't miss a show. We love doing these shows for you, so share it with your friends if you're enjoying it. All right, so on tonight's show, we are going to be seeing a little bit of Jackie with a little Jackie slideshow for some of your quilts. I'm going to talk about Fast and Furious Club. I'm going to talk a little bit about Retreat, and of course, lots of great new fabrics. So, of course, every show we have a giveaway question at the end where you can answer whether you're watching us live or not. And all you have to do is answer the question. You're entered into the giveaway. We also have a second giveaway for our live viewers. So the only thing you have to do to enter that giveaway is comment. So keep commenting, ask questions. We love to see everybody kind of talking to each other throughout the show. On our last show, we asked a question, do you have a furry sewing friend? And a lot of you do. Our winner from last week is Janice Neal Hingman. Unfortunately, she said she lost her furry friend last September. I'm so sorry to hear that. Those furry friends can just be just as much a part of our family as humans, so I really am sorry. So hopefully you can either replace your sewing buddy or find a different version of it. So Janice, if you see this, send us a quick email to help@gequiltdesigns to claim your $25 gift card, and you can go shopping. Of course, today is a very special day, other than it being a snowstorm everywhere. It is 2/22/22. So it's a true Tuesday. Yes, it's Tipsy Tuesday, but it's Tipsy 2 W's Day. Tipsy Tuesday. Say hi to Mr. HP. He is running the show, and warm, staying warm. Look at his new sweater.
Nice sweater.
Got a brand new sweater that my aunt
so
knitted
soft.
for him from Iceland. Got that in the mail today.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? And nice and warm and cozy. I'm not wearing mine because I have to put buttons on mine. But I'm wearing a very special one just for you all. Look at it. This is classic me in the wintertime. I'm always cold. So I thought I'd wear this today. Very fitting. We are in the middle of a snowstorm. So guess where I am? Inside. Inside in my sewing room.
Yeah.
Should we talk about our quilts behind us? I have brand new quilts. Well, they're not new. You probably have seen them. If you did our Phoenix quilt along back in November, you remember I was working on a gorgeous Phoenix using Adorn fabric. So this is my quilt. Finally got it quilted, the one right behind me. And so I used an awesome edge-to-edge design from Urban Elements. It's called Cupid. And do we have a photo? Can we put the close-ups up on the screen? So we have one just laying on the couch. See, it's just got a great texture. It's got little hearts. And I used variegated thread. So those Aurifil variegated boxes, thread sets that we have, I just really love them. And so I wanted to try and use them on Gertie, so on my long arm, and it is the most beautiful thing in the world. So now I've done it already on 2 quilts. The the variegated thread, and I just use the regular spools that we use on our regular machines, and it's totally fine. It worked out beautifully, and that color is perfect, and I'm gonna continue using them. I love it. Then on the ladder is the strip twist that I used, the Astra bundle that I showed you on Friday. So I showed you this line on Friday, and so I used the blues in the outer parts of the squares, I used the lights in the middle, and then I threw in that accent color that I showed you in the fabric pull. I absolutely love how this quilt turned out. And for this one, the quilting pattern we used on it is called Spiral Maze. It's also on Urban Elements. It's really cool because it both has spirals and then it has some block action in between. On the cabinet is our eggs for Easter table runner. You know, Easter's coming up here soon, so now it's time to start thinking about that. We got a cute little Easter line in. This week it's being cut, so I won't show it to you yet, but it just made me think, okay, it's coming up. The Easter candies are coming into the stores. Although I have not found the big bags of the Cadbury's eggs, which is a good thing.
It's not time yet.
Well, I did find like mini bags.
You bought 5 of those?
I did. I bought 4. I didn't want to look weird. And they're all gone, of course. They were instantly gone. But luckily, I have not found the big bags yet. But I have to find them somewhere before retreat because that will be my snack, my favorite snack. So that's on the cabinet. Of course, that was part of our Fast and Furious Club last year. So you can still purchase that if you weren't a part of Fast and Furious Club Season 2. This was, I believe, our February project. So February or March, I don't remember. But anyways, really quick and easy. Quilt as you go. Goes together fast. All right, speaking of Fast and Furious Club, our project for February went live over the weekend. So on the 20th, and this time we did our sewing organizers. So 2 different versions. So one is a travel organizer, or either to travel with or to take, have like over your sofa arm when you're hand stitching. And then the other one is made to fit underneath your machine. So of course you can have that any size you want, and I kind of show that in the video that you really want to customize the size of this. I made this size, it was perfect for my featherweight. I made another one that's a little bit bigger for my 301 because it's a little bit bigger. And then so you want to really measure your space and figure out what the size is. And I teach you how to do that all in the video, and then kind of go from there. Also, all the pockets are customizable, so you really want to decide which tools do I want to have. And also in the small one, do you want to have a little pleat in the pockets to be able to fit spools of thread or clips or anything. And so it's a really fun, fast project actually. So hope I'm going to be seeing lots of these made here in the next few days, weeks. They're very handy and great to take, especially the one under the sewing machine. Like if you go on retreats or trips or you travel with your machine, those are great to have underneath and just have all the tools right in there. And it really protects, like I was sewing in hotels, so it really protects the table that you're on and keeps everything nice and sturdy. It's also, it also kind of dampens that shake and noise. Believe me, I've been sewing in all kinds of situations on all kinds of tables. So it really is nice to have that little cushion. All right, so any questions on the Fast and Furious? So these little organizers, we do have kits still. They look exactly like mine. So let me show you again. The really pretty backing fabric, which is these cute scissors. And I love it because it becomes the outer part when you roll up your travel one. And then the pocket fabric is these little pins, and then we have a multitude of fabrics for the assorted strips. I just chose colors that are reflected in the balls on the pins. And then of course this beautiful diagonally striped binding that really sets it off. So we have those kits available. Check it out. And I have enough fabric in here to make a really large sewing machine underneath the sewing machine organizer. So I just really kind of had enough fabric in there to make whatever size, pretty much. Not for under your long arm though. Not that much. All right. Did you see any questions on Fast and Furious Club?
No questions.
And speaking of Fast and Furious Club, of course, this was our third project in trimester 2. So which means we have one more trimester for season 3 of Fast and Furious Club. Trimester 3, which will be projects coming in March, April, and May. And we will be showing you those next week on Tuesday, Tipsy Tuesday, a week from today. You'll be able to see them. This is it's March 1st. Yeah. So you'll be able to see our March project and April and May. And the organizer pattern is sold separately, so all of our Fast and Furious Club projects are available individually. So now, after we launch it on the 20th of each month, it is available individually. You purchase the pattern and you get the video lesson as well, the video class. So, totally available. So mark your calendar for March 1st for trimester 3 of season 3 of Fast and Furious Club. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about retreat, although I don't want to talk too much about it because I know not everybody is participating, but I just wanted to mention we sent everybody an email, I believe it was yesterday, about our test Zoom session. So we're going to do a little test for those of you, because the retreat takes place over Zoom. So for those of you that want to kind of brush up on your Zoom or haven't done it before, you just want to see how it works, we're going to have 2 sessions. So we emailed you all that information with the links for it. We're going to do 2 different times. So hopefully with all the different time zones everywhere, you'll be able to log on. It's going to be on a Sunday, so hopefully not a lot of people working that day. So if you did not get an email, please go ahead and check your spam. If you're signed up for retreat and didn't get an email, check your spam folders and check everything. If you can't find it, please email us. We want to make sure that we have you on our list so that you are able to receive our emails. So very, very important.
You have to download Zoom.
Yes, so if you're participating, you have to download the Zoom
and register
app, or have an account, have a Zoom account.
Free.
It's free. Highly recommend it. And then, you know, by doing the little test session, you can also test if you are going to try to do the whole retreat on an iPad or on a big computer. Maybe you're going to try and kind of mirror your screen to your TV. So I recommend that you test everything on March 6th during our test Zooms. Test it with the devices that you're going to be using.
Test it before the test.
Test it before the test, yes. It's
Zoom
all
a
good.
friend.
It's all good. So any questions on that? Of course, boxes are arriving, and it's fun to see you posting about the boxes arriving, and fun to see that you're excited about the contents. But please, 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 we're going to keep a total zipped up mouth and no posting on the contents of the boxes until retreat starts. All right, because we want everybody to have the same reactions and surprises, and not everybody has gotten their boxes yet. Especially today, we had lots of folks that were going to pick up their boxes at the warehouse today, and we have a snowstorm, so I think everybody canceled their trip to the warehouse, which is fine. We are open again Thursday and Friday, so
There's
hopefully.
a question for you.
Yes, there is a retreat Facebook group. That was in this email and the last email we sent everybody that signed up. So you can only join that closed group if you are registered for your retreat. It's just called Stripology Retreat 2022, virtual retreat. And when you click on that group to join it, you have to put in your order number because we have to check it off. All right. Retreat is officially sold out, yes. Um, we could add people, but since we already sent out the boxes, it's very very limited on fabric choices. But
Just add 500 more. Just add.
Just email us if you're really desperate. Just email us. Just email us. All right. Any more questions on retreat? It's exciting. The group is for both sessions because all the contents, retreat, we're doing the same things. Everything we're doing is for both. So we, of course, won't be posting any videos in there or anything like that. This is just to get to know each other, and it's kind of fun for everybody to get to know each other so that because we have people that did our last year's retreat, and now they may be in 2 different sessions, so that's a way to get to know each other, interact before the retreat and after. Actually, we had a group for last year, and they are still talking and still doing their own little meetups and Zooms and stuff. So that's really exciting.
Yes, of course, there will be music. Of course. Yes, you got to have music.
Okay, you're not putting the questions up, so they're just for you. So you're just going to answer them like that?
It's just for me.
Okay, all right. That's okay.
Here you go.
All right. Oh, of course.
There you go.
That's his job. That's his job. He'll be taking care of that for sure. All right, so if we don't have any more questions on retreat, I think it's time to move on to Jackie, our Jackie quilt along. So I told you that we would be doing our first slideshow today. I know it hasn't been very long since we finished, and a lot of you are still working on it. Do not worry. We will do a second slideshow later on. But this one, I did not just include quilted quilts. I did quilt tops too. So we did quilt tops and quilted quilts that we could find on Facebook, in our Facebook group. So here is the first batch of all of your gorgeous Jackie quilts from the Jackie Quilt Along. gorgeous, aren't they? They are just all so different, and each one better than the other. And everyone has their own personality. I love it. Thank you all for participating. We really appreciate it. Especially thrilled to see how many of you took advantage and purchased our extended pattern, the work I put into that, and then this way you have all the videos in your account at your fingertips whenever you need them. Really appreciate that support for only 10 bucks, but it really made a difference for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I wanted to, before we start checking out some fabric, I wanted to do my PSA of the day. PSA of the day. Public service announcement. So, just because I just did that to my machine, make sure you are cleaning out your machine. Cleaning your machine after every single quilt you make, at least. You know what? No more than 3 quilts. I usually am pretty good about this, but when there's a lot going on and one comes right after the other, especially if I'm piecing one quilt as a leader ender, and then when I'm done with one quilt, the leader ender becomes the main, so they kind of flow into each other. I sometimes forget. So, but it's really good. Your machine just is going to work perfectly, especially those computerized machines. They really need to be cleaned out on a regular basis. So they're going to get more linty. You know, the lint that goes into your machine, a lot of people think that it's from the thread. It's from your fabrics, people. It's mostly from your fabrics, because you all know if you take a piece of fabric and shake it, you'll see the puff, the puff of lint that flows around. When you cut, and especially when we're dealing with cut edges, that is the lint that's in your machine. So especially when you're working with flannel, anything like that, that is going to kind of increase that lint in your machine. So make sure you clean that out more often if you're working with flannel. If you're doing free motion quilting, having that batting in between, that will increase it. Also, quilt as you go, make sure you clean it a little more often when you're working with any of those because of the bobbin fibers. Now, if you have a machine that you have to oil, make sure you put that on a little checklist when you did that last. If you're not doing it after every single time, I mean, I think with my machines that I do, my vintage machines, they all need oil. So what I will do, I will wind 3 bobbins, and then after those 3 bobbins, I give her the whole oil, lube her up after those 3, and then I wind my 3 more bobbins. So that's a really good rule. So 3 bobbins, and I actually use this 3 bobbin rule for my computerized, my Solaris, my baby lock. So after 3 bobbins, I change my needle. I try and clean out my machine more often than 3 bobbins, but at least after 3 bobbins, I do check, clean the lint, and I give my machine a fresh new needle. So there's different ideas about when you should change your needle. When do you change your needle? Do you do that as often? Because I remember I told you you need to swap out your seam ripper when it's dull. Your needle becomes dull the more you sew. And different ideas, you know, sewing machine companies are going to tell you one thing. Garment sewers are going to tell you another thing. And depending on what you're doing in quilting, it varies a little bit. So a lot of folks say new needle for every project. For me, that's a little too excessive. I'm one of those that likes to get the full use out of my stuff without it becoming cumbersome or having issues. So here's my rule. Usually I change my needle 3 to 5 quilts. If it's big quilts and I'm just piecing, 3. If it's some mix of sizes of quilt and I'm just piecing, maybe 5. Then I change my needle. Or if before that I see anything wrong with my stitch, if I'm getting any puckering or anything is the stitches are getting uneven, change your needle. That's the first fix. Anything wrong with your stitch, change your needle. Rethread maybe first and then change your needle. But then if you're doing paper piecing, that's going to dull your needle faster than just sewing through fabric. If you're sewing through any kind of different types of fabric, like if you're working with cork or you're working with coated fabrics, leather, maybe denim, or anything other than just quilting cottons, then it's going to dull faster if you're just using a regular sharps needle. If you're doing free motion quilting or quilt as you go, it's going to do a little more, it's going to be a little more wear also, because you're punching through all the layers, and with quilting you're sometimes punching through a lot of layers of fabric and the batting, so that will dull it faster. So think about all those things, make it a rule, and if you forget, like me, have a little log on your you know, a reminder, when did you change, and then if it's been too long, give it a fresh new needle, because I tell you what, a fresh needle in your sewing machine is going to be way cheaper than something happening to your machine because a needle broke or bent, or it starts having issues because that needle is jacked up. So that's my PSA of the day. And I'd love to take any questions if you or comments. I use sharps for when I'm piecing. So Microtex sharps, I do usually sew with an 80, size 80, because I don't like 75. I think they're a little too thin for just piecing, because I like it a little sturdier, because also then I can use it for quilting. Some people like 75s, I like 80. That's just me. So I use both those, and then I love my non-stick needles for when I'm doing quilt as you go, or if I'm doing quilting, because or anything I'm working with fusibles. It just really makes a difference. All right. All right. Do you see any more questions? If you wait until you hear bad noises in your machine, you have decided to wait until damage is happening to oil it. Why? Exactly. We don't want that to start happening. You don't want to, you know, we all know our machines so well. So as soon as you start hearing something different, and sometimes you even start hearing like a punch, like it's punching in every stitch, that's when your needle is dull. But any kind of noise, you've kind of waited a little too long. Yes. Lubricate. What size needle do you use with Aurifil on Gertie? You know what? We use the same one as we had been using. I'm not sure about the size. It's the standard ones that we got when we bought the machines, and we bought it in bulk. So I'll check on that and make sure. But it was just the regular. It's sewed up beautifully. Actually better than the thread that I had been using. So what are you oiling? Your sewing machine. So usually it's older machines that need oiling. It depends. It depends on the brand, depends on what type of machine. If you're a computerized machine, most times they don't need oiling, depends on the brand. So just check with your machine. If you need to oil it, make sure you're doing it on a regular basis. Based on, you know, they say always based on sewing hours. And yeah, that's a good thing, a good notion, but we are quilters, so it's really easy to measure everything in bobbins to me, in versus hours, because, you know, I just can't keep track of hours when you're jumping in there and getting a half hour here and 20 minutes there. So it's easier for me to go by the bobbins that I use if I'm just doing piecing. All right. Anything else? There's a lot of comments, so I hopefully am seeing the questions. Can you use nonstick for everything? Yes, yeah. You can. I've just left it in. You know, I change it for a project and then I go back to piecing, so I just leave it in until I've, you know, gone through X many projects. Yep, you can use them for everything. So what I mean about cleaning or asking about, let me take this question first. For needles to use universal top stitch, I use sharps, Microtex sharps. So they're sharper, they penetrate the fabric better when I'm piecing. This is for regular piecing. But I saw a question about, oh, no, I dropped it. No, I can't find it again. Ooh, man. Which needle is best for Quilt As You Go? I love my non-stick needles for Quilt As You Go. You can use just regular, but it's non-stick needles, but I still use sharps. I just feel like they cut through everything much easier than a universal needle. Universal needle is going to be sturdier, so if you're doing really thick seams, like if you're doing free motion quilting and there's lots of intersections of seams, like if it's a heavily pieced piece, then maybe a universal might be better, especially if you tend to start breaking needles. Then a universal is going to be thicker and sturdier. But I love my sharps for piecing. Okay, now I can't find that other question, so please ask it again.
What's your shirt say?
What's my shirt say? I'm so freaking cold. Yes, it's a snowstorm. Kobe, you want to come and say hi? Hop up here. Want to say hi? Hi. Now I remember. So somebody was saying, what do you mean by cleaning your machine? What I mean by that is get into your bobbin. If you can pull, like take out your bobbin case. If, like my machine is a top loader, so I can take my shuttle out and everything and clean everything, everywhere you can get into. You know, we have those really nice sewing machine cleaners that have like a fuzzy end. They're really great, so we carry them in the store. You can get in there and the stick kind of bends, so you can get in there and get all the lint out. So that's what I mean by cleaning your machine. Get into where the bobbin is and in between and everywhere.
Question.
Yes. Where's the pattern for Table Runner? So the Table Runner was our season 2 Fast and Furious Club. I believe it was the March project, either February or March. I think March project last year. So you will find it on our website, Fast and Furious Club season 2, and it's called Eggs for Easter. And so when you purchase the pattern, it's a pattern. You get the pattern and a video class teaching you how to do it. Quilt As You Go, super fast and fun. What about changing needle more often when piecing onto paper, like string piecing? Yes, you need to change that needle, like I just said before. If you're doing paper piecing or sewing through paper, that's going to dull your needle faster than just regular piecing. So think about that, what you do a lot of, or if you are just doing a quilt and then you're going to do a whole paper piece quilt, swap out your needle before your next project. All right? But listen to your machines. You know, they purr, they talk to you. We know what they're supposed to sound like. Listen to them. If they're saying something different, that means we're not paying attention and we're not doing our job of taking care of them. All right. How often do you change your rotary blade? That's a good one too, because I always feel like I wait too long because I want to get a little more out of it, and then when I change it, I'm just like, what in the you-know-what? Why didn't I do this a long time ago? Because it then cuts like butter. So I just kind of notice if I have to put pressure down, like a lot of pressure to get through 4 layers of fabric, you know, I always fold my fabric into 4s when I'm cutting with a Strapology ruler. If I can't just cut through without like really forcing down on it, it needs a new blade. So you will hear it, you'll start hearing it too and feeling it. So if you start having to really push to get through, time for a new blade. And of course, if you get a nick in it, unfortunately, you have to change your blade. That's just annoying. All right, let's check out some fabric. Got lots of fun stuff to show you. So first off, I wanted to talk about, we've been asked about this very many times. We've sold a lot of this fabric and we still get asked about it. So guess what? We have abandoned 2 bundles back in stock. We got a little more of it. So if you're not familiar, here's what the fabric looks like. We've done a fabric pull with it and you can find all that on the website. Can we put up the photo of the fabric? Because I didn't bring it with me. We've shown it before. So this is Tim Holtz and all of his abandoned fabric, 2 fabric line. It's a 10-piece line, and that's the fabrics underneath. The ones on top are his basic provisions that we carry in 1 yard. So they all coordinate and work together. And I've made 2 abandoned quilts. This one is made, this is Venus. This was out of his first abandoned line. but they're very similar and will give you a very similar effect. So I love Tim Holtz. I've been collecting his stuff for a really long time. So I love to have a quilt from each of his collections, or as you can see, they all interact and play well together. So I love to mix them up. So this is Venus, and then I did make June last summer out of Abandoned 2. So this is Abandoned 2 with 2 different backgrounds, with a light background and a dark background. And I love how that came out too. So that's back in stock. Check it out. Then we also got a lot of new wide backs. So
sorry,
108.
say that again. Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, my watch thinks I'm talking to her. I don't know how she figured that out. I wonder what it is that triggers that. All right, so we have a lot of new 108, so extra wide fabric. So they're 108 inches wide, and we carry them in 3-yard cuts, which means that they are 108 by 108, or we carry them in 1-yard cuts as well. So here's all the different ones that we got in just to show you, so check them out. And of course we got both of the Tim Holtz ones back in stock. They were sold out. So that's the Expedition and then the Dictionary one. This is a really cool new one that from Wyndham. That's kind of a collage. I love it. So it feels like it's a patchwork, but all neutrals. So it's very cool. Love their stuff. And then we have this one, the Geometric Rainbow. This one goes actually with the fabric line I'm about to show you, Sun Valley, but it's really kind of a southwestern, really rich, beautiful colors. So the 1 yards are of course 108 by 36 inches. So they would work well as backs for maybe a small quilt or table runners, anything like that. And then of course you can just use these as regular fabrics. You don't necessarily have to use them as backs. They are just great value for the amount of fabric that you get. So I have been asked if buying 1 yard of a 108 is the same as buying 3 yards of fabric. It's not quite, because of course 3 yards of fabric would be 108 by 42. This is 108 by 36, so slightly less than 3 yards on a regular cotton. All right, so then we have this fabric that I actually forgot to show you guys. We got it because we just carry it in 1 yard. It's called Funny Farm, and it's a running yardage, even though it looks like panels, but it's a running yardage. So we just cut it into 1 yards, and it's so cute, you guys. Look at this, Funny Farm. So they say I'm legendary. I'm into whiskey business. What's for dinner? Beats me. We have no goats, no glory. I don't think you care it at all. I don't think you care at all. Won't you be my tweetheart? Then we have there's one in every family. Nobody takes me seriously. It hurts. Hey there. Yeah, so really cute, fun phrases, and I love the images as well, the artwork. So I did, just because I feel like you could do so many fun things with it. These guys measure just under 4 inches square, so you could cut them out individually or cut multiples out. I think it'd be really fun for a back of a quilt. Create your own block with it, do whatever. So I did a little fabric pull. So I thought, you know, for a background for this, because it's so colorful, it'll be fun to use something like the beguiled hearts in the black with all the different colored hearts. For somebody that loves animals, or the splatter for a little more subtle, just color mixed with the black. I love the black because there's black kind of throughout in the sheep and in the cow. Then as I just went and kind of picked out the colors in the panels or in the print, and I love the Alchemy fabrics with it. So Alchemy is a Tim Holtz basic, but look, it has so many different hues in it. So I love this purple because there's a couple of shades of purple in the print. And then the Intrigue has the teal, a little bit of green, a little bit of purple. And then the Elixir, which is the greens, has that, and then into lime greens, into dark, a little bit of black, so it kind of all works together. And then I picked 2 regular, so for the reds, the Postbox Red and the Bumbleberries is a perfect red to go with these. And then as for it's a little bit of pink, I love this dot matrix in the azalea color because it has the brightness but has the lighter and the darker spots in it too. So I had fun just doing a little fabric pull with this. Funny Farm, so this one is a 1 yard, and then you can just kind of play with it. Are there sound effects going on?
Kinda is.
Kind of. Is it funny animals? So what do Funny Farm animals sound like different from regular? You'll have to tell me because I don't hear anything. He's just playing this for you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
All right. Yeah, it was funny. All right. First one up of the new bundles, we have the one I was just talking about earlier. It's called Sun Valley. It's actually called Sun Valley 2 because I guess this is the second Sun Valley line. And it does have a panel that is not in the bundle. It's sold separately. It's fairly large, so very Southwestern themed. So we have, but I just love these rich colors. So the panel is about 24, I think, or no, it's larger. So it's about 28 inches wide and beautiful digital print. So it's the feel of this fabric is beautiful. The hand is beautiful. So just a gorgeous southwestern sunset. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So this is the panel. And then the bundle has, it is 10 different fabrics. So I just, let me just start with these really colorful ones. So we have, this is kind of a stripe, but I love how you can kind of play with it, cut off smaller parts. If you cut it in strips, you get a multitude of things going on. You can cut it into strips for binding or anything like that. Then we have this print, which is also the print that is used in that back, in the wide back. So that is available as a wide back too, the geometric rainbow. We have going into some of the more reddish tones. We have the images here, the animals on this really beautiful rusty background. And then we have a tone on tone, that same texture, just a tad bit darker. Beautiful, beautiful texture. We have the images of the people and the suns. Are these called cocopellis? I don't remember what these are called. And then a little bit of gold. A nice directional print here. We have a stripe in here that is has all the colors. Look how beautiful. So the bigger prints are all digital, so they are just gorgeous. So we can go from, see all of these colors. You get so much more variety when you're working with digital prints. Then we go into the more teals and greens. The animals on that greenish teal, we have a directional print in the green. And then the lightest one, which almost has like an ombre effect. Tone on tone. So there it is, 10 prints, Sun Valley 2. And then of course, the panel sold separately and the wide back. Now, I was given a little bit of a hard time by my employees because my fabric pull for this was huge. Well, I just started playing and, there's so many beautiful shades. And so yes, my fabric pull is large. So I apologize. but it's one of those sorry, not sorry, because I love it. So let's start with the reds. So going into, because there are brighter reds in some of the prints, and then we have these deeper tones here. So this new hue red has some of the brighter, it has the deeper tones. I love this print, especially with the specks in it. It works very well with it. For the lighter, brighter ones, I love this Nature Element Hibiscus because it has the brightness and then it has a little bit of that gold in there. So love this with it. For the gold colors, since there's only one print that really has it, I went with 3 different ones. Chalk and Charcoal in the Rust, because that has some of the darker tones of the red and then the lighter tones of the golds. Seeds in the Tangerine, almost a perfect match with this one. And then I love this also, the Pebbles, what is this line? It's the Pebbles in the yellow, but it has all this beautiful rustiness in it too, and the texture just works perfectly with it. So I couldn't leave it out. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? So then let's go into the, I'm going to go on the far side here because this is the lightest teal with a lot of green in it. I love this Floral Elements in the Tropical Green, almost a perfect match to the greens, and also has those dark greens in here. And then the Shabby in the Vivid color. Beautiful. This was a part of our color club, our second color club. Then we have the medium teals. They have also a lot of green in it. So we have Grunge in the Dark Jade. And then I love this. This is one of our Passion fabrics from Passion, which sold out instantly, by the way, guys. So it has both the teals and a little bit of blue. And then there is this Hunter Green color. So I went with that Chalk and Charcoal in the Hunter. It's darker than everything, but then bringing in the spatter and the dark green is really going to tie it together and tie them all together, pulling in the greens everywhere with the teals. So yes, there's a lot, I know that. So as far as background color, I wanted to kind of go with this creamy base here. So I love the Nature Elements and the Natural. It's almost a perfect match. And then the chalkboard texture in the cream. Again, another perfect match here. So these work great. I got 2 more because, I mean, if you needed a plaid, we got 2 plaids that would work. We have the plaid and the chestnut, and then the Regions Beyond in the orange. They both would work if you need a plaid. Totally. So yes, don't you think I needed all those? You can barely see the fabric line for all of those 1 yards. Yes, I did pull a lot, but I think it just deserves it. I just couldn't stop. There was too many great choices. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'll try and do less next time if it's too much for you. Is it too much for you? Too many choices?
Not at all.
No, I love choices.
More the merrier.
I always say, you know what, my theme, my word is always, more is always better. So if it's more variety, if it's more fabric, more wine, more is always better. All right, so next one up is called No Ordinary Cats. Yes, do we have some kitty people out there? This one also has a panel. They called it a running yardage, but I don't know why, because it totally looks like a panel. So we cut it like a panel because we could not cut it like running yardage. It would not make sense. So it's so cute. Look at this. So we are selling the panel separately because it is about 24 inches wide. So we have these guys. These top blocks are about 7.5 or so, and then we have some fun rectangular ones. I was normal 3 cats ago. I love this phrase. I know a couple of cat ladies that are good friends. Crazy cat lady, there are no ordinary cats, I'm sure. Happiness is cats. 2 cats are better than 1. Life is so much better with a cat. Everything reminded me of my cat. Reminds me of my cat. Happiness is, and then I have Catatube. Isn't that cute? This is just perfect. And I love the uniqueness of the artwork. They are really no ordinary cats. And really the colors are beautiful, rich, just those black and red and that beautiful cream, kind of a taupey cream. So let me show you the fabrics. The bundle is only 9 pieces. Yes, another small one, but you know what? I did a big pull for it. So here is one of my favorite prints. Look at this. Look at these. Not really ordinary cats, are they? And then of course we have a heart print because we love these cats. And going into some more of the reds. So beautiful print here. I love my cat. I love my cat. Some typography. And then we have the cats in the red, and they are taupe or cream, kind of creamy brown, kind of latte colored grays, blacks. Then we have the cat faces with all the phrases. One cat leads to another. Life is better with a cat. Wild and free. Some are even a little cross-eyed and cute. They're just so cute. A little all over print. This one is a little directional print, which could be used as a stripe or just some fun texture, directional texture. And then we have 2 prints that are these cute polka dots, both in the tan and then in the black. So this is no ordinary cats. Isn't it cute? So I pulled, of course, let's start with the reds. It's only 2 full reds. It's a really beautiful red color. So the chameleon in the red, the postbox red bumbleberries, and the canvas cherry. All great choices for reds. Then I did the lattes. So first one, Prisma All Bite Latte. The Nature Elements in the Biscotti. Perfect. And then the grunge and the tan. Another perfect match with these colors. So there's only 1 full black, so if you needed a little more black to balance it out, I found 3 of them. I kind of stuck with 3 because I did 3. So the Life Recipes and the Texture Chalkboard, I love because there's a little bit of brown in here. That's perfect. And then just a grunge black dress. It's a great match with these blacks. And then the bumbleberries in the black. Also, I love it because there's a little gray in here for all the gray cats. So not to leave out the gray cats, I did some grays. I love this one because it has different hues of gray. This is chalk and charcoal in the charcoal color. And then a little bit lighter, the Flora Elements and the Stormy Sea because it has black in it would work great. And then the lightest gray for the light gray cats, I did the grunge and the ash. So this is my fabric pull and a couple of stripes. The diagonal stripe in the black and red has a little gray in it. It's perfect. And if you want it a little bit lighter without the black in it, the red and cream would work as well. So that's no ordinary cats. So are there any cats on the audio stream?
No.
No cats.
No.
Okay. We're just listening to me talking?
Just some kitties.
What's the difference between a cat meowing and, oh, kitties, maybe there's a higher pitch, maybe a little bit? Maybe. Now, you're allergic to cats, aren't you? Mr. HB gets a little itchy nose.
A little itchy eyes.
Itchy eyes around cats.
Yeah. A little itchy.
It's not extreme, though. I feel like it's not too extreme. You're okay, like, going to a cat house for a little bit.
Yeah, if I just start petting them a little bit.
Then you're done. All right, I got one more bundle for you. This one is called Savor the Moment. So this was our a pre-order, and it just came in faster than we anticipated. So gotta love that. It's really cute. So we have garden gnomes, so very springy and fun. How cute are these? So these are actually, you know how they're doing gnome fabrics and all kinds of different themes. This one works for me. It really does, because not all of them work for me, because you're not going to have Halloween gnomes. Really, that doesn't make sense to me. But they work in the garden. So beautiful. I love this aqua base. And so going into a little bit darker hue of that aqua turquoise robin's egg blue, and a little paisley. And then we have the daisies on the teal or turquoise background. We have more garden gnomes. I love this one. So they're kind of hiding everywhere. A little bit of mushroom caps. Gotta love that. We have a red paisley. Well, let me show you this one. This is the green, the daisies on the green. And then we have the red paisley. And this fun print that kind of just reminds me of the mushroom caps in both the red and then in this beautiful caramel brown color. So this is the bundle, only 10 pieces again. So smaller bundle and maybe a not so small fabric pool with it. So I did, with these lightest colors, I did the texture in the teal. So these 3 actually belong to the line. These 3, so it's the teal and then the red and then the brown. So they are actually belong to the line, but we have them in 1 yards. And then I added to it, so seeds in the ice, perfect match with the lightest hues. For the darkest ones, I chose the Spectrostatic and the Deep Sea. Great mix in here. And then for another red, I did this one, the Bedrock in the candy color, because it has the darkest hues and then the lighter ones. For the browns, I did the Bumbleberries Bark, just a tad bit darker, but there are darker shades of brown in here. And then the Dash Flow in the Brand, so that's a lighter hue that would work well with some of their hats and things like that. For the greens, this is the only kind of green print along with the daisies. So if you need a little more green, I love this Spectrostatic Spearmint and the seeds in the fern color. So they work great. For a background, I would probably go light. So I love the flying seeds and then the spotted in the white, because that's a perfect match with the daisy. So and the white in here, that would work well. Now if you didn't want white, you could also do a light gray, and this one would be just perfect. So the Mushroom Anatomy in that quarry color. So because of all the mushrooms, I think it would just be perfect. If you wanted a little more variety, more gnomes, more kind of garden feel and mushroom feel, I have a whole nother bundle for you that we've had for a while. It's called Front of You. And look, this would just be able to mix perfectly because it has some gnomes. It has some gnomes. It has some mushrooms, some more garden things. And even if it's more greens, it still would work with everything else. Look at it. Yes, so mix and match. It works. I promise. So if anybody just loves anything garden gnome things, that would be a great idea to mix them up. Savor the gnomant. So savor the gnomant, everybody. Savor the fact that it's 22. It actually works either way. So if you say your dates the European way, of course you say the date first and then the month. In America, you say the month first. It's confusing. Believe me, I got so many things wrong after I moved here first because I didn't understand why they were doing the month first. Took me a while. Anyway, so that's our fabric for today. Lots of fabric. And have you been strolling and finding our random winner for the giveaway for commenting?
Sure have.
Live winner of the night is, let's see, Linda Beckstedt. Great. Congratulations, Linda. You have won a $25 gift card. So make sure that you send us an email to help@GEQuiltDesigns, and we'll get you that gift card so you can go shopping. Now, of course, we have another question for you for this show, so another chance to win. All you got to do is answer this question in the comment. And this one is, what is your favorite form of exercise? And quilting does not count. Quilting does not count. Favorite? I know exercise is not really many people's favorite. What's your favorite? Yoga?
Right now it's yoga.
Right now, yeah. I go through phases too. So I love to run. I've been a runner since I was 10 years old. And so, but I don't run in the winter. So I do not, nope. So as soon as it starts warming up, I'll run.
Sometimes I don't really necessarily like it. I like the benefit of it.
Yes. I agree with that on yoga. I don't necessarily like doing it.
There are moments that are just like really enjoyable.
Yeah, true. But I love how my body feels from yoga too. So if I'm not running, I just like variety. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. So I like all kinds of different things. That's my way. And I always say a little bit of something is way better than a lot of every once in a while. A little bit, being consistent, is better than twice a week for an hour.
Yeah.
Trust me. So 20, 30, 40 minutes, 4, 5, 6 times a week is better. So doing a little something. So we'd love to hear what is your favorite, whether it's walking or whatever you enjoy doing, and you will automatically be entered into our giveaway, which we'll announce next week on our show, March 1st at 7 p.m. Central. March 1st, it's going to be a big show, new Fast and Furious Club trimester announced, and other things. And because of that, we have no Friday show. So no Happy Friday. Mr. HP got some business out of town, so I decided to tag along because it is warmer than here. So I am going to enjoy a little break, but I'm taking my computer, always got to work a little bit in between. So that's what we're planning on doing next weekend. So no show Friday. We'll see you all Tuesday, March 1st, 7 p.m. That's it for us tonight. I hope you enjoy your week and the following weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.